If I were to start training for a race right this minute, this is the rotation I would choose. I consider each of these shoes to be the best price to performance in each of the individual classes. Yes, one shoe may be better than what I have chosen here, but the ones that I have tried, these have given me the best bang for the buck. Let's go through why I chose these and why this would be my rotation. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Brendon, and on this channel, I upload videos multiple times a week, all about the sport I love, running. From running shoe reviews to helping the beginner runner get started on their journey. That's what I'm here to do. So if that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button right down below. It would really, really mean a lot. And if you are so inclined, hit that like button. It helps out the video a ton. Now, let's get into why I chose these to be my rotation. First off, I'm going to answer a question that some new runners may have on their mind when they're watching this video, and that is, why do we need different shoes for different purposes? Is there really that much of a point? And I'm just going to go ahead and say, if you're a new runner, you don't really need different shoes for different purposes. It does help to have a couple of pairs of shoes just because the foam takes a little bit to rebound after use. So if you use a shoe one day, it may feel a little more flat the next day, but you really don't need more than one pair of shoes. I went with one pair of shoes for 3 or 4 years and I was totally fine. It's only recently that I started to buy shoes for specific purposes, and I have to say, yes, it does make a difference, but it's not necessarily needed. Now, with that in mind, let's get back to the shoe nerding out and talk about why I chose these shoes for my easy day, my daily trainer, and my tempo and fast day stuff. Now, for easy days, I want this shoe to be thick. Very, very thick, T-H-I-C-C. I want it to be very plush. I want it to absorb every single step I'm putting into the ground. I want it to be a little lighter so I don't have to think about me working harder just because it's a little bit heavier. I want it to just work, and that means I go out the door, I don't have to think about the lacing, the lockdown is very nice, and at the end of the day, it just makes me want to go out and run easy miles, and that's exactly what the Clifton 7 does. This shoe is extremely plush, like just look at the amount of foam there. And yes, I know the amount of foam doesn't necessarily mean plush, but guys, this EVA foam on the Clifton 7 is extremely plush. The lockdown through the heel and ankle is extremely good. That's something I was ranting and raving about on the full review of this guy. Link in the description to that if you want to know more about this shoe. But the lockdown through the heel has been absolutely fantastic. And it's 270 grams in my size 10.5. It's in ounces right here for you fine folks in the US of A. And this has been my favorite easy day shoe that I have picked up this year. I have the Triumph 17 that I also use, and the Triumph 18 actually, and both of them didn't really compare to the Clifton 7 for easier day stuff. Just because of the weight of the Triumphs, the Clifton 7 is much lighter and fit my needs for my easy days just that much better. It comes in at 170 Canadian dollars or 130 US dollars, but you might be able to find a sale coming up towards Black Friday. Who knows? Keep a lookout. And for easy day guys, could not recommend the Clifton 7 more. Now moving on to the daily trainers. Now, this is a shoe that you're going to be wearing for most of your runs. Day in and day out, you're probably going to be picking up your daily trainer. You're going to throw in a couple of easy days a week, maybe just one. You're going to throw in a little bit more fast stuff, maybe 1 or 2 days a week, just depends, but majority of your time is going to be spent in the daily trainer, especially when you're in the base building phase, the early training blocks. Now, for me, when I look for a daily trainer, I want this to be a little bit more responsive. So that means I want the foam to be a bit more firm, to be honest. Just because I don't like sinking in, because the turnover is just not as natural when you're sinking into the foam. So if the foam's just a little bit more firm, for me anyway, it might differ person to person. I find that to be a bit more of an enjoyable experience. Another thing I want the daily trainer to be able to do is be able to be used day after day. So that means the foam has to rebound relatively quickly. I don't want to wear the shoe one day for like a 5-mile run and then go out the next day for another 5 to 10-mile run, whatever it may be, and have the foam feeling extremely flat and dead. I don't want that at all. So I want the foam to be able to rebound pretty quickly. Next, that means also that I want the upper to not absorb a bunch of water. And if it does absorb a bunch of water, it better dry quick, because Lord knows I don't want to be putting my foot into a very, very wet shoe to go out the next day. Typically, if that happens, I try to put my shoes near the heater anyway, not directly on it, but just close enough that it dries it out a little bit. And the shoe that fit the bill best for me is the Saucony Ride 13, it's been there the whole time, so you know the shoes I'm talking about. But why did I choose this? The Power Run foam has been absolutely fantastic for all types of runs, to be honest. Like, I can go for an easy run, and the Power Run midsole is feeling a little plush and it absorbs a lot of the impact. But if I want to go faster, it seems to firm up and become extremely responsive, which for me that means that it's rebounding quickly and I'm not losing much energy on any stride. It's helping me get to the next stride, it's not making me sink into the foam. Another great thing about this is the upper. The upper is extremely comfortable, but it does have a downside for sure. Remember how I said that I don't want it to absorb a bunch of water? Well, unfortunately, this thing holds on to moisture very, very well. So yes, it does dry by the next day if I put it by the heater, but that's something to be aware of. If you know you're going to be running in very slushy conditions, like myself, on the east coast of Canada, we get a lot of snow that melts very quickly, and that lends to very, very, very slushy conditions. So this shoe is definitely going to get wet, but it does dry quickly and I'm able to use it the next day. Another great thing about the Saucony Ride 13 is the Triflex technology, which really, really helps with smooth transitions. So what I mean by transition is my gait cycle. So when you're landing on the ground, you're going through the motions, and the Triflex technology is making that feel extremely smooth. Now, this shoe is relatively heavy. I think it's over 300 grams in my size 10.5 US men's. But guys, I don't know what Saucony has done, but when you put this on foot, it feels nimble and it doesn't really feel that heavy at all. It feels fantastic. So yes, there are a couple of downsides, so it doesn't completely fit the bill, but at 165 bucks, guys, I don't think I could find a better daily trainer that's gonna get me out the door each and every day having a good package. The Saucony Ride 13, guys, if you don't mind having a little bit of moisture held on, definitely a good option for your rotation. Now moving on to the most exciting shoe in our rotation, the shoe that's turning all the heads, getting all the buzz marketing here on YouTube, getting all the Twitter likes, all the media attention, all the World Athletics attention, the race day shoe, or what we like to call the tempo day or fast day stuff, is in my rotation anyway. I use my race day shoe for tempo days and faster day stuff, but not everyone does. It's just something I like to do to get a little bit acquainted with. For me, I want this shoe to be nice and lightweight. I want it to have a very thick stack height, so I'm not feeling any road feel. I want the phone to be squishy, but also responsive and bouncy. So it's a big ask, but the Saucony Endorphin Speed fits the bill perfectly. It's not a carbon fiber plated shoe, it is a nylon plated shoe. But guys, for me, being a non-elite runner, it does the trick just as well as any carbon fiber plated shoe. And I did say it's the best price to performance list. So yes, if I was doing ultra high budget shoe rotation, I would have had the Nike Next Percent in this rotation 100%. But guys, I said best price to performance, and right now, I don't think there's anything better than the Endorphin Speed for a race day shoe. Honest to God, if you're a non-elite runner and you can get your hands on this, please pick it up. It's gonna make a world of a difference for your race day. Now, what makes the Saucony Endorphin Speed that special for me? What makes me have those lover boy eyes when I look at this beautiful shoe right here? As you can see, the stack height is very thick and I don't feel any of the pavement when I'm out there running. Not necessarily a feel that everyone prefers, but for me, I do like not feeling the ground when I'm in my race day. The foam is a Pebax based midsole foam and it feels fantastic. When I'm riding along, I'm bouncing to the next step and it's helping me get there. The upper is nice and breathable and light, and like I said, this shoe's 239 grams. Not sure if I said that or not, but now you know. It's very lightweight, and it actually does have a little bit of structure through the ankle, which are in heel, and I do like that as well. Now, another great thing for me is the gusseted tongue. There's not a whole lot that I dislike about this package. Now, I haven't used it in a very high moisture day yet. It is a little rainy out tonight, so maybe I'll take it out and see how it feels. But guys, the Endorphin Speed at $199, there is no better value on the market right now for a race day shoe. Some people may argue that it's not a race day shoe. It's a race day shoe for most people. To be honest, I ran most of my races in a Brooks Adrenaline line, so if that can do it, this can do it. So overall, guys, this package is fantastic. For Canadian dollars, it's 540 Canadian dollars, which that's a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. 440 US or something like that, if I did the conversion right. That's a lot of money for shoes. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you're a newer runner, you don't need shoes for specific purposes. You need to find a good pair of shoes that's gonna work for you day in and day out, and you feel comfortable doing all the different types of sessions in. For me, when I was first starting out, that was the Brooks Adrenaline line. Now, as I've transitioned more, if I had to pick one shoe, it would definitely be the Ride 13, because like I said, it feels good at easy and faster paces, and I would have no problem running a full marathon in this. The foam is a little firm, but I think it would do well over the distance. Now guys, I want you to come up with your own 3-shoe rotation for easy days, daily trainer, and a fast day shoe with the best price to performance ratio. There are definitely different shoes that I could have put on here if I was going to try that biggest high budget type of shoe rotation, but I want to do this one. I thought this was a bit more challenging and fun to do rather than defaulting to the ones we know are best. Okay guys, thank you all so much for making it to the end of the video. Can't wait to hear what you have in your rotations. Have a fantastic day and I'll catch you on the next one. Remember, drink your water, get out there and run, and have fun while doing it. See you on the next one.